My friends, today I want to speak to you about something more valuable than gold, more precious than any treasure you can hold in your hands. That treasure is time. Each day, each hour, each moment is a gift, a chance to shape your destiny and build the life you have always dreamed of. Too often, we let our days slip away, caught in distraction, doubt, or delay, and we forget that the choices we make with our time define the story of our lives. Imagine a life where every second counts, where every action is guided by purpose, and where every effort brings you closer to your highest goals. That is not a dream, it is a choice, and it begins the moment you decide to honor your time, to guard it, and to use it wisely. Today, I invite you to embrace the power of your hours, to seize them with intention, and to transform your life. Not tomorrow, not someday, but beginning now. Your time is your life, and how you spend it will echo through the legacy you leave behind. My friends, let us reflect on a truth that is simple yet profound. Time is the most precious resource we possess. Unlike wealth, power, or fame, time is a gift that cannot be earned back once it is spent. Every moment that passes is a moment that will never return, and each decision we make about how we spend our hours shapes the course of our lives. Consider this: no matter how great your dreams or how strong your ambitions, they remain only as ideas if you fail to dedicate your time to them. To achieve success, to transform your life, to leave a meaningful legacy, you must first understand the value of each passing moment. Time demands respect, my friends. It asks of us discipline, focus, and courage. It asks that we prioritize what truly matters, that we resist the temptations of distraction and delay, and that we invest our energy in pursuits that move us closer to our goals. Every minute wasted in indecision, in complaint, in aimless wandering is a minute stolen from the life you could have built. Yet there is hope in understanding this, because once we recognize the preciousness of our hours, we gain the power to shape them, to turn them into instruments of growth and achievement. Living wisely with time means living with purpose. It means asking ourselves each day, does this action bring me closer to my vision? Does this choice honor my dreams? The answer is not always easy, for the path of purpose is often challenging. It requires sacrifice, patience, and relentless commitment, but the reward is profound. When you master your time, you master your destiny. Small, consistent efforts, applied with intention, accumulate into remarkable transformation. The hours you dedicate to learning, to refining your skills, to building relationships, and to contributing to the greater good compound into a life of success and fulfillment. Remember, my friends, time does not wait for anyone. It does not bend to our wishes or favor the indecisive. It moves steadily, inexorably forward, and so we must move with it, not against it. We must embrace the responsibility to spend our time wisely, to seize every day with the understanding that it is an opportunity to grow, to serve, and to achieve. Guard it carefully, for it is finite. Treasure it deeply, for it is yours to wield. And use it courageously, for it has the power to transform not only your life, but also the lives of those you touch along the way. In the end, the measure of a life well lived is not in the wealth we acquire, nor in the accolades we receive, but in how wisely we have spent the time we were given. Let us then commit, from this moment onward, to honor our hours, to invest them with intention, and to create a life of meaning, purpose, and lasting impact. For time, my friends, is the greatest gift, and how we use it will determine the legacy we leave behind. Every life is a journey, and every journey requires direction. Without a purpose, we wander aimlessly, caught in the currents of distraction, indecision, and fleeting pleasures. To live a life of true meaning and fulfillment, we must first understand the importance of purpose. Purpose is not a distant idea or a vague hope. It is a guiding force that shapes every action, every choice, and every moment of our existence. It is the compass that ensures our daily efforts are aligned with the vision of the life we aspire to create. Living a purpose-driven life begins with clarity. We must ask ourselves, what do I truly value? What do I hope to achieve? What legacy do I wish to leave behind? These questions are not easy to answer, for they require deep reflection, honesty, and courage. Yet in the answers lie the foundation of a life that is intentional rather than accidental, meaningful rather than mundane. When we identify our purpose, we gain the ability to prioritize our time, energy, and resources on what truly matters. Every decision becomes a stepping stone toward our long-term vision, rather than a distraction or detour. Purpose is the engine that fuels discipline and persistence. When we know why we are acting, when we understand the greater significance of our efforts, challenges become opportunities and obstacles become lessons. We no longer pursue goals merely for the fleeting satisfaction of achievement. We pursue them as part of a larger mission that gives our life coherence and direction. This understanding transforms routine tasks into acts of growth, setbacks into experiences of learning, and effort into meaningful progress. The discipline to stay committed, the resilience to endure hardships, and the focus to resist distractions, all are strengthened when guided by a clear sense of purpose. Moreover, a purpose-driven life is not lived in isolation. True purpose often extends beyond ourselves, connecting us to others, to community, and to causes greater than our personal ambitions. When our actions serve both our goals and the well-being of those around us, our lives gain depth, influence, and enduring impact. Purpose reminds us that our time on this earth is limited and precious, and that how we spend it matters not just for ourselves, but for the world we leave behind. In practical terms, living with purpose means setting goals that reflect your vision, planning your days intentionally, and reviewing your actions to ensure alignment with what you value most. It means saying no to distractions, temptations, and short-term gratifications that pull you away from what truly matters. It means embracing self-discipline, reflection, and continuous learning as daily practices. Every hour spent in alignment with your purpose compounds over time into a life of achievement, fulfillment, and lasting legacy. Ultimately, a purpose-driven life is a life lived fully and intentionally. It is a life where each day is a conscious step toward realizing our highest potential, where challenges are embraced as part of growth, and where our efforts are focused on creating a meaningful, lasting impact. Purpose gives us direction, motivation, and resilience. It transforms ordinary existence into extraordinary living. And when we live each day with purpose, we discover that success is not merely measured by what we achieve, but by the meaningful journey we create along the way. Discipline and consistency are the cornerstones of a life that achieves greatness. Many of us dream of success, imagining sudden breakthroughs, dramatic transformations, or moments of luck that change everything. Yet the truth is far simpler and far more demanding. Success is built quietly, day by day, through small, deliberate actions repeated with unwavering commitment. It is not the grand gestures, the fleeting bursts of effort, or the occasional inspiration that shape our lives. It is the habits we cultivate, the routines we follow, and the discipline with which we approach every task, no matter how small or mundane. Discipline begins with choice. It requires that we prioritize what is important over what is easy. Every day presents countless distractions, temptations, and excuses. And every day we are faced with the opportunity to either give in or remain steadfast in our commitment to our goals. Discipline means saying no to short-term comfort in order to invest in long-term growth. It is the willingness to do what must be done, even when we do not feel like doing it, even when progress is slow or imperceptible. This is the essence of self-mastery, the ability to govern our impulses and direct our energy toward meaningful purpose. Consistency is the companion of discipline. A single act, no matter how noble, cannot create lasting change. It is the repetition of positive habits, the steady accumulation of effort that produces tangible results. Like drops of water carving a stone, consistent action, however small, eventually shapes outcomes far greater than we could imagine. Whether it is dedicating time to learning, practicing a skill, or working diligently toward a personal or professional goal, consistency transforms effort into progress and progress into achievement. Without it, even the most talented individuals falter, for potential alone is never enough. Moreover, discipline and consistency cultivate resilience. Life is unpredictable, filled with setbacks, distractions, and unforeseen challenges. Those who rely solely on inspiration or fleeting motivation will often find themselves adrift when difficulties arise. But those who have cultivated the habits of discipline, who have trained themselves to act faithfully even when it is hard, are able to endure, adapt, and continue moving forward. They understand that each day of effort, no matter how small, is an investment in their future. They trust the process and embrace the slow, steady rhythm of growth, knowing that true success is rarely immediate but always cumulative. Practical discipline requires structure and self-awareness. It involves setting clear goals, breaking them into manageable steps, and committing to follow through with regular effort. It demands reflection to recognize what habits serve our purpose and which ones hinder it, and the courage to adjust course when necessary. Consistency then becomes the natural outcome of living intentionally, of choosing each day to act in alignment with our aspirations. Ultimately, discipline and consistency are not just tools for achievement, they are ways of life. They teach patience, perseverance, and self-respect. They transform ordinary people into extraordinary achievers, and they turn dreams into reality. Success, therefore, is not a stroke of luck or a sudden revelation. It is the reward of those who honor their commitments, act with intention, and persist relentlessly day after day until their vision becomes their reality. Every moment we live offers us a choice to remain as we are or to grow into something greater. Life is not a static journey, and those who achieve lasting success understand that learning is not confined to classrooms or formal education. It is a continuous, lifelong pursuit, one that requires curiosity, humility, and the courage to embrace change. To learn and grow continuously is to recognize that every experience, every challenge, and every interaction carries a lesson, and that the accumulation of knowledge and wisdom compounds over time into profound personal transformation. Learning begins with openness. It requires the willingness to admit that we do not know everything, that we are not perfect, and that there is always room to improve. Pride and complacency are obstacles to growth, for they blind us to opportunities for development and prevent us from seeking knowledge where it exists. True learners approach life with curiosity, asking questions, observing carefully, and listening deeply. They do not shy away from failure, for they understand that mistakes are not endpoints, but stepping stones to greater understanding. Every setback, every disappointment carries within it the seed of insight, if only we are willing to recognize it. Growth demands reflection. It is not enough to simply accumulate facts or skills. We must also pause to consider how what we learn applies to our lives and our goals. Reflection allows us to extract meaning from experience, to discern patterns, and to make deliberate choices about how to improve. By taking time to evaluate our actions, our decisions, and our habits, we gain clarity about what serves us and what holds us back. This self-awareness is the foundation of intentional growth, enabling us to align our learning with our purpose and our aspirations. Continuous learning also requires action. Knowledge without application is like a seed left unplanted. It has potential but cannot bear fruit. To truly grow, we must apply what we learn to our work, our relationships, and our personal development. We must experiment, adapt, and iterate, using our insights to refine our approach and expand our capabilities. Over time, these small, deliberate efforts compound, building skills, resilience, and wisdom that cannot be achieved overnight. The person who invests in learning daily becomes stronger, wiser, and more capable than the one who relies solely on natural talent or luck. Moreover, learning and growth are not solitary pursuits. We grow fastest when we engage with others, mentors, peers, and even critics who challenge our assumptions, broaden our perspective, and inspire us to aim higher. Sharing knowledge and experiences enriches not only ourselves, but also those around us, creating a cycle of growth that extends beyond the individual. In the end, a life committed to continuous learning is a life of possibility. It is a life that refuses stagnation, embraces challenges, and sees every day as an opportunity to become a better version of oneself. Knowledge compounds, skills multiply, and wisdom deepens with consistent effort. Those who dedicate themselves to learning and growth discover that success is not a destination, but a journey that expands the mind, strengthens the character, and transforms the life in ways that are profound, enduring, and truly life-changing. True success in life is measured not solely by what we achieve for ourselves, but by the impact we leave on others. To serve and inspire is to recognize that our time, talents, and energy are not ours alone. They are tools through which we can create positive change in the world. Every day presents us with opportunities to lift those around us, to extend kindness, to share knowledge, and to act in ways that strengthen our communities. When we dedicate ourselves to serving others, we find that our own lives are enriched, our purpose is clarified, and our actions gain meaning far beyond personal ambition. Serving others begins with empathy. To inspire is first to understand the struggles, hopes, and dreams of those we encounter. It requires that we listen deeply, observe thoughtfully, and respond with compassion. In doing so, we build trust and connection, for people are drawn not merely to words or gestures, but to those who truly see them and value their presence. Service is never about recognition or reward. It is about identifying a need and meeting it with sincerity, integrity, and humility. Small acts of care, encouragement, or guidance can ripple outward, influencing lives in ways that often surpass our imagination. Inspiration, like service, is an active choice. It requires courage to lead by example, to live in alignment with the values we promote, and to persist even when the impact is not immediately visible. When we act with integrity, resilience, and dedication, we model behavior that others can emulate, planting seeds of hope and motivation. Leadership through service is not about control or authority. It is about empowering others to rise, to recognize their own potential, and to contribute meaningfully to the world. The greatest leaders are those who serve first, whose actions ignite courage and possibility in others. Meaningful contribution also demands that we use our time wisely. Every hour spent in selfish pursuits is an hour lost in creating lasting impact. When we allocate our energy toward helping others, whether through mentorship, collaboration, or acts of generosity, we multiply the value of our efforts. Service transforms ordinary tasks into powerful acts of influence, and ordinary moments into opportunities to shape a better future. Even small gestures, sharing knowledge, offering encouragement, or supporting a struggling friend can leave lasting impressions that ripple through families, communities, and generations. Ultimately, a life dedicated to serving and inspiring others creates a legacy far greater than any personal achievement. It teaches humility, strengthens character, and fosters gratitude. It reminds us that our existence is interconnected, that our choices matter, and that the time we spend in service is never wasted. Those who inspire others discover that their own lives are enriched in ways that success alone cannot provide. They experience the joy of meaningful connection, the satisfaction of contributing to the greater good, and the enduring fulfillment that comes from knowing their life has made a difference. In choosing to serve and inspire, we embrace a principle that transforms not only our own path, but the lives of all we touch. The measure of a life well lived is found not merely in personal gain, but in the positive change we create in the world. Every moment devoted to uplifting another person becomes a building block of lasting impact, a testament to the power of a life guided by purpose, compassion, and the unwavering commitment to make a difference.